are going to go through every ailment there is. You can't be worrying about that, because if we can keep worrying about the trouble that the masses are in, we never cultivate anything among ourselves to get to the higher level in which the masses going to be a part of. Because ultimately, all this shit got to be destroyed. This shit is over.
I am inevitable.
Don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. It's cool to use the computer. Don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on. The battlefield's in the mind. The prize is the soul.
Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
Push the goddamn button.
Push the goddamn button.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live in full effect.
Yo.
We live.
Come
on in, y'all. We got these topics to discuss. We have the mayor of New York threatening to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. Yeah. We got, and we have we're gonna speak on this Tom Hanks Route 66 linked to the Isaac Kappy situation. So that resurfaced as well. So we're gonna get into it, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Yeah, shout out to y'all just tuning in. Yvonne Coleman, Jimmy Jump, 420. Shout out to y'all tuning in. Please make sure y'all hit that like button. Yeah, what you think of this Netanyahu, Netanyahu, the mayor of New York, around the Madami?
I don't think this dude is that serious, cause he ain't ever mentioned nothing about them trying to merge our military with Israel.
Facts.
Cause I mean, that's the most important thing that people need
true.
to be hearing about. Them consistently trying to merge our military with Israel. So if he was for real, he'd be talking out about that too.
That's a fact.
He'd be going at Congress. He'd be going at Congress. He'd be going at the Supreme Court. He'd be going at all these different political. Because you gotta think about it. Once they merge these militaries, if they accomplish it, that means that Israel can make a claim to land in the United States. Do you know how dangerous that is for a terroristic state like Israel to make claim on your land? Look what they doing to Palestine.
Yeah,
you gotta remember they were guests. They were guests. Palestine allowed them to come in there and create the state of Israel within Palestine, and then they immediately started attacking Palestine, basically saying Palestine is theirs. So what you think they're gonna start doing in the United States?
Patrolling America's streets.
They're gonna take our cities over.
America.
They're gonna take our cities over.
Citizens.
Yeah, and they're gonna be blowing our cities up, blowing up apartment complexes and all this type of stuff, because blowing up American citizens who don't. That's exactly what they're planning on doing. That's why they got all these cameras everywhere.
It's just gonna be a war.
And Mossad, they definitely all into the surveillance state, because most of our communications is being monitored by Mossad, by Israeli intelligence. And that's a known fact.
Right. It's just gonna cause another civil war on this land again. I mean, that was the same thing that happened when the Hessian troops came over here and invaded America. It was a war. It was a war on the land. That's what's gonna happen, because American citizens are still allowed to be armed citizens, and they still allowed to protect themselves at all costs.
Right.
So it's just gonna be an all-out war, which happens every few decades and shit anyway. Or I would say not decades, but every few hundreds of years or something like that. It's always a civil war that breaks out. So yeah, that's all gonna happen though. But
that's how I know this mayor ain't serious, bro. Because if he was serious, he'd be talking about the real issues.
Right. And the thing is, we're gonna get into on the grounds of why I think he's full of shit anyway, which we could break down. But I guess we can go ahead and get into this video real quick. Let's get into this video. So this is the news basically breaking down why he wants to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. Let's get into it.
Effectively become a no-go zone.
Make sure y'all hit that like button too.
For Netanyahu. with New York's own mayor now placing the Israeli Prime Minister squarely in his political crosshairs ahead of a major UN visit? Is New York's mayor genuinely gearing up to arrest the Israeli Prime Minister when he arrives in September, turning a routine UN visit into a potential diplomatic and legal showdown? Has Mamdani deliberately revived his ICC arrest threat right ahead of Bibi's scheduled UN visit, signaling that this is no longer just campaign rhetoric but a real legal confrontation in the making? With ties between Trump and Netanyahu already strained over Iran, will the US president actually step in to save Bibi from Mamdani, or has their relationship deteriorated too far for that kind of intervention? Amid the broader strains of ongoing regional war, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu now faces a fresh and very public arrest threat coming directly from New York City's own mayor. Zohran Mamdani has reiterated in no uncertain terms that Netanyahu should be arrested the moment he sets foot in New York City, doubling down on a position he has held for months. Mamdani told the New York Times that the city is actively reviewing its available legal options ahead of the upcoming UN meeting, suggesting this threat now has real bureaucratic machinery behind it. New York's mayor confirmed that detailed discussions are already underway with the city's own legal department, indicating that officials are seriously exploring how such an arrest could actually be carried out. All of this comes ahead of Benjamin Netanyahu's scheduled visit to address the UN General Assembly in September, setting up a potential collision course between the two leaders on American soil. Mamdani said, and I quote, "I believe that Prime Minister Netanyahu belongs in The Hague. He's a war criminal who has been charged by the International Criminal Court. And what you will find is that is an opinion that is held by many purely because of what his actions have wrought over these last many years. I've also said that I will follow the laws that we have here in New York City because I believe that there is an importance in following the law as a leader who presides over our city. I think what we have seen from New Yorkers, what we've seen from Americans, when we talk about this hunger for a new kind of politics, it's a hunger to move beyond the bankruptcy that characterizes a lot of politics today. And it is hard to find a more bankrupt policy approach than what our country has done to Gaza and to Palestine, and how it hasn't been specific to any one party." Israel's UN envoy Danny Danon fired back sharply, arguing that it is actually Mamdani, not Netanyahu, who deserves to be arrested for failing his own city and its residents. Danny Danon said, and I quote, "Mamdani is failing to govern New York, instead of focusing on his responsibilities as mayor and confronting the rising wave of anti-Semitism in his city, he has chosen to incite hostility and generate headlines by attacking the state of Israel. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu will come to New York, address the United Nations General Assembly with pride, and stand before the world to state Israel's truth and its unwavering right to defend its citizens." Unquote. Notably, this is not a new position for Mamdani, who had previously and publicly promised to enforce ICC warrants against foreign leaders visiting New York City. The International Criminal Court issued its original arrest warrant for Netanyahu over the Gaza war back in November 2024, a warrant that continues to shadow him at every international appearance. This entire standoff unfolds as reports increasingly claim that ties between Trump and Netanyahu have grown strained over Iran, raising doubts about whether Washington would even intervene on Bibi's behalf.
So he claiming that he wants to arrest Bibi Netanyahu, but according to this, he don't even have a chance. He don't even have the authority to do it. All right, so I'm gonna break this down real quick. Because I pulled this up. It says the New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani has stated desire to honor the International Criminal Court warrant, right? So this, based off the Gaza, off the Gaza war and the war crimes and all that. But listen, however, the position faces significant practical legal hurdles. So the experts state that the municipal authorities cannot arrest foreign heads of state, federal and diplomatic immunity, as the U.S. is not an ICC member, and foreign leaders have diplomatic immunity while visiting the UN. Federal law supersedes the local efforts, right? So it says, all right, so this is key point, non-recognition of the ICC. The United States never joined the Rome Statute, the treaty of established the treaty that established the ICC, because U.S. does not recognize the court jurisdiction. The federal government has no legal obligation to execute ICC arrest warrants. diplomatic immunity. Of course, the U.S. established U.S. federal law, international treaties, foreign heads of state visiting, such as those attending the UN Assembly, granted diplomatic immunity. Federal all right, so while New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani has stated exploring whether the local authorities can detain Netanyahu if he visits New York, legal experts state that the officials confirmed that local police do not have the power to override federal foreign policy. Furthermore, the U.S. federal law explicitly prohibits the imprisonment of obstruction of the foreign officials and prohibits local governments from cooperating with ICC. So he don't even have America's not even part of the ICC. So don't even have legal authority to arrest any foreign foreign entity. So he's full of shit with that. What he should be looking at is Donald Trump. That's who he should be looking into. And the motherfuckers on the Epstein files.
That's why I said that it's all just political theater, bro.
Political theater, fam.
And they're only doing this because they getting a lot of flack from American citizens. You gotta understand the amount of calls that these politicians are getting about Israel.
Right.
So they gotta actually, pretend like they care. Because I mean, let's just be real. They don't want to riot in the streets. They don't
Right.
want people coming up there like that's Capitol. When they stormed the Capitol, that was fake anyway. But they don't want that to really happen. They don't want the real storming of the Capitol to happen. So these politicians gotta act like they care. These representatives, these mayors, these senators. You gotta understand the type of phone calls they get. I mean,
Exactly.
like people like sending letters, phone calls, emails. They just being flooded because we all wondering like, why are y'all looking out for Israel so much? First of all, they over there committing mass genocide. They always talking about defense, defense, defense. When Israel's always on the offense, they always the offensive one. They always the
Exactly.
ones that's attacking and bombing and invading. They claim everybody's coming after them, but in all actuality, they just projecting. They going after everybody else, and Trump right behind them, using our military, using our kids over there, using our money, our weapons to basically carry out Israel's and they talking about the relationship between Trump
And
and
that Yahoo.
Yahoo is strained.
Right.
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Those dudes are literally in bed together. I wouldn't be surprised if they were sleeping together. Yeah, I mean, I would, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be surprised if Trump's was Netanyahu's late night booty call.
Right. Them
For real,
niggas,
for
right.
real.
Fact,
Like
them niggas is still doing business together.
exactly.
It's
This
big,
is crazy.
right. And our our political system all wrapped up in this shit with Netanyahu. It's business as usual. You think anything gonna change? They've been supporting Israel for I mean, for decades upon decades. We sent over $4 billion a year to Israel.
Bro, they saying it's more than that. That's what they got that's on the
On the
books.
books. Right, on the books.
Apparently, this $39 trillion in debt, a large part of that is Israel stealing money
Right.
that our politicians is giving to them because they all on the Epstein client list. You gotta understand, Epstein was working for Israel the whole time. He was a double agent.
Yeah.
But the people who employ Epstein were the Zionists. The Zionists are the
Exactly.
ones that's behind the state of Israel. And what they did was they basically got a lot of these politicians and world leaders, they got them on tape and everything doing some hideous stuff.
Blackmail like a mug.
And they being blackmailed to the T. That's what's happening. That's why we never going to get Epstein client list because Netanyahu and the Zionists are still using that to basically blackmail these politicians. That's why a lot of them. That's why they almost integrated our military. That bill almost passed, but they not stopping.
Right.
They almost integrated our military into the into their military. They was going to integrate both militaries, and all these people that's part of APAC and all that, they all corrupt. And it's crazy because a lot of the money that's being funneled to Israel through our treasury is going to people that's part of APAC also. So they not only being blackmailed, they also being paid. I mean, sometimes they pay you and they blackmail you at the same time to make sure that you on their side. And that's what's been happening. And I'm
Exactly.
gonna be honest with y'all, it's all types of people from our government involved. Senators, mayors,
Yeah.
congressmen,
Judges,
judges,
lawyers.
lawyers, they
Yeah,
all a
they
part
all
of it,
part of
y'all.
that.
We screwed basically.
And the thing about it is, you see people like Bill Gates and a lot of these figures that's doing a lot of these testing for these elites are wrapped up. They are also being blackmailed as well. That's why they had his dumb ass up there at the at the that did the whole deposition with him, and blackmail was mentioned. He
Mm-hmm.
mentions he mentioned about being blackmailed by Epstein, which we already know that was the case anyway with all these people that's involved with the Epstein files. And that's why nothing is being done, because the people that's supposed to be doing something about it is got caught in compromising positions. They all on tape, they all on file, they got pictures. And we only seen a glimpse of that when they released the Epstein files. We seen a glimpse of it. You think they ain't got more shit in the tuck? The shit that they not gonna release to the public? Do you understand what would happen if they was actually to release the real files with these president that you seeing presidents on there having, having intercourse with children, and the torture. If you do you realize what would happen if the people if they actually released that? I think that would send people into, you know will send this country into a revolt, because I don't think what they released should have been enough for people to really stand up to this shit. But if they was to have and released all that shit that's on the, black web and all that,
Bro,
it'd be a wrap.
that would
It'd be
send
a
the
wrap.
world into a revolt. That
Right.
wouldn't just send the country into a
The
revolt.
world.
That will
Right.
make the whole entire globe revolt if that was released.
Right.
And you got every time I hear Epstein, all I think about is Israel. And when I hear Israel, all I think about is Zionists. And when I hear Zionists, all I think about is Rothschilds and Rockefellers.
Right.
And when I hear Rothschilds and Rockefellers, all I can think about is the Orsini family. And that's just what it is. And that's the truth. That's the
Right.
truth right there. Epstein was just a puppet. He was just a manager, and they got rid of him and they replaced him with another manager. So who's the current manager right now?
Yeah.
Who's the current
Exactly.
Epstein?
He's
Because they
to
still
be
carrying out these operations, y'all.
he's to be unknown and unseen until it's time to you know sacrifice him.
Until it burn, yup, until he get that burn notice. That's
Yep.
what they call it, a burn notice.
Burn notice. Yep.
Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell had got a burn notice. That's the only reason why they got put on the media and blasted and then sent to prison, because they got a burn notice. And when they do
Facts.
that, all they do is just replace them with somebody else.
That's it.
And then business
Business
continues as
continues.
usual. And that's what we have to understand. That's what we have to be focused on. That just because Epstein so-called dead or whatever they claim he is, that shit don't matter. Epstein was just a manager of a larger operation.
That's it.
And y'all have to understand that this is still going on. And that's why Israel is walking around with so much confidence, because they're currently still blackmailing our senators. They currently still blackmailing our state representatives, our
Right.
congressmen and women, lawyers, judges. They're all still being blackmailed. That's what's happening. And the ones that's not being blackmailed, they being paid or just threatened.
Right.
Or both, paid and threatened. And
Yes,
they're
because
scared.
and the thing about it is the ICC have warrants against Netanyahu to arrest him, and they still haven't acted on them. So they saying any territory he goes in within the 125 members of the states of the ICC, he can be arrested in any of those 125 territories. But he hasn't been. They never even attempted to arrest Netanyahu yet.
Man, that's just all talk.
Right. That's what it's all fluff. Right. It's making them to make people think they doing something about it, but they really not. They really not going to do anything about it until it's time for him to be taken out, like they do all the other people. They took out Saddam Hussein. They done took out, you know, all these other people that when it's time to take them out, then that's when they'll take them out. But the orders haven't came down yet, so that's why we still see him operating and still alive. They still using him. But if they want to arrest Netanyahu or take him out, that'll be done by that'll be orders from the top. Nothing America going to do about it. Is nothing Israel going to do about it. It's nothing nobody going to do about it. Them orders has to come down from the top.
And he's just a manager. He's still a
Right.
puppet. Netanyahu is still a
Exactly.
puppet.
Facts.
You gotta understand, he's still being controlled by the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. You gotta understand, these are the true Zionists, and you gotta
Right.
realize the Zionists was also behind the Nazi Party.
Exactly. World
They,
War II.
they was behind all of it. And
World
the
War
thing
One
is,
and World War
they
II.
flew under the banner of being Jews,
Right.
and they fake forced themselves out when the Nazi takeover made it look like the Nazis was against the Rothschilds and Rockefellers. That was all
Right.
fake, because they were literally behind the Nazi movement. They were literally funding the Nazi party that was killing the Jews. Because let's just be real, the motherfucking Zionists are not real Jews.
Facts.
They're not. They just love flying under that banner.
Right. And the
And
thing
they do
about
that.
it, the
They
flag,
fly under any banner.
right, and the flag wasn't created until 1948 when the Zionist movement was created. So that Star of
Exactly.
David that they using, which is really the pentagram, really the occult pentagram that they use in a 5-star. I think the gangster site would use that star as well. But
It's an
that
occult symbol.
is an occult symbol. But yeah, that flag wasn't. They ain't start flying that flag until 1948, and that's when the Zionist movement started. So, and the Zionist movement, of course, was started by, Walter. What's his name? Walter Rothschild.
Yeah, Walter Rothschild, the uncle of Jacob Rothschild.
Facts.
Because Jacob, before he died, he was the head of the Rothschild family
Yeah.
banking cartel. I don't
Right.
know who is now. I guess maybe his son.
His son. Yeah, it's his son. It's his son now.
But he literally came out and said, Jacob Rothschild literally said the state of Israel was started by his uncle, who was the top Zionist at that time. Walter Rothschild was the one that drafted the letter to Palestine to make basically them the city state Israel inside of Palestine.
Right.
His uncle drafted that letter. His uncle, a Zionist, pulled that off. So that is who is behind Israel. They created the state of Israel within Palestine, and those dudes are not real Jews, y'all. They don't even practice Judaism.
No, they don't even practice Judaism.
They don't even practice Judaism.
They worship the occult. They do occult practices like, you know what I'm saying, sacrifices and things of that nature.
And they sacrifice their own to get their agendas through.
Facts.
Because they just say, oh, they're martyr. They're martyr for our cause. We kill them off and make them look like the victims of the world just so we can push the agenda through that if anybody question anything we do from here on in is labeled anti-Semitic. That was part of the psychological warfare right there. The psychological program that they can make the world think that they have a right to defend themselves because they're still the victims of the Holocaust. That's a whole psychological warfare psyop right there. That's the whole psyop right there in a nutshell. Appear as the victim so you could attack people and say, oh no, they tried to attack me, and repeat what happened to us in World War II when they was really behind the shit that went down in World War II because they funded the Nazis.
Yeah, they funded
That's
the Nazi
crazy
part.
stuff behind all of this.
Yep.
And the thing is, the truth is coming out because a lot of people know this information now.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that anti-Semitic shit ain't working no more.
Right,
Being
right,
a fake
right.
victim ain't working anymore.
It damn sure ain't, because the Epstein shit that came out basically proved that the shit that they really doing. So things are slowly starting. The rock is being, turned over, and all this shit is being exposed. And then now it reverts back to the people. What the people gonna do about it? It's in the people hands really this time. It's in the people hands, and what the people decide to do. Are we still gonna keep supporting these motherfuckers, or are we gonna turn? turn our backs on them and let that shit fall. I to be honest, this shit is falling anyway. So we just need to speed up the motherfucking process.
And that's basically what's happening. The ship is going down.
Right.
The ship
Titanic
is
is
going
tanking.
down. Yep, the ship. Yep, you could just look at this as one big ass Titanic. And I'm telling you right now, America's going down faster than everybody. Y'all don't understand. Like us as American citizens, we got
So
some
much,
real clear dangers ahead, and we
so much
all just
blood.
living life. We all just living life like it's not true. Like we just turning our backs on it and just la, go to work, go out party, watch sports. Like we're so behind on what's actually happening right now, and the United States is going down fast.
Yeah, and the rest of
It's
the
going
world,
down
yeah, right.
fast.
Right. And the rest of the world is moving along with trying to get certain individuals out of power and shit like that. It's like this country. What happened to our country, man?
Well, I'm gonna
What
be
happened?
honest with you. What's the evidence of the other superpowers in the world is moving like America's not about to not exist.
Right.
Like China, Russia,
Right. They're
all
getting away from the
they're
petrodollar.
they
Right.
getting away from they're already operating. If you see the type of actions that the other superpowers are taking in the world, they're moving like, oh, the United States ain't even gonna be here in the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Like they're making plans to like where like that don't include the United States. Do y'all understand? Like us as American citizens, it's about to get bad here.
Yeah. Worse than what it is now.
It's going to get way worse. Y'all just don't understand. And the thing, what the evidence? They're pricing Americans out of everyday essentials.
Right.
Like it's getting harder to just get your hands on everyday things like at a fair price. They're pricing us all out. They pricing us out of housing. They pricing us out of just
Everything.
the basic necessities of life. Are being
Facts.
priced out. The utility, if y'all don't even know this, y'all need to listen to this right now. Most of our utility companies, our local municipalities are owned by foreign interests now.
Exactly.
There's people in fucking China and Israel that own electric companies and water companies within inside your local municipalities, y'all.
Yeah. They sold
Do
this
y'all do
country
you
out a long
understand
time
what's
ago.
happening? Like we are done. That means they can press a button and cut off all our damn electricity and water. Like, do you understand this is an invasion? They're operating like America's not going to exist because they already got it set in stone because they already sold bits and pieces of America to other
All right.
foreign interests already. It's the job that Richard Gere did in the movie Pretty Woman.
Pretty woman. Right.
His job was when corporations was failing, he was able to basically take the corporation and divide it up and sell off pieces of it. Well, that's
Exactly.
happening with the United States right
That's what.
now.
Right.
Most of our farmland, most of our utility companies, most of our resources is being sold to foreign entities, y'all.
China,
They
Israel.
already, and then the American citizens, they're just planning on wiping most of us out and enslaving the rest. That's why they're poisoning everything in the United States because they want most of us dead. They can't just outright do it. So they're covertly poisoning everything, and also they want to keep us infertile. So a lot of this stuff is
Yes, you
geared
can't
to
reproduce.
a lot of this
Right.
stuff is geared towards attacking our hormones, which and your hormones regulate everything in your body, especially whether you're going to be fertile or not. So
Right.
they're attacking that, and they're also attacking our minds. They attacking our minds. That's why the rate of Alzheimer's is going up so high.
Yeah.
It's going up so high because they're actually meticulously releasing chemicals in the atmosphere that affect our minds, our memory, and our fertility.
Right.
And that's
And
why they want to merge Israel's military with ours, because what they would do is once they have all that intel, military wise, they would send our troops overseas to deal with stuff, and they would let the Israeli troops govern us over here. Because Israel troops would do more to Americans than what American citizens, would do to their own people. So they know
right.
that you know, if there was a military order to strike an elementary school or apartment complex, you know, Israel wouldn't hesitate to do it.
Yeah, because they don't have no emotions to deal with. That's what I'm saying. Like we were saying that a long time ago, that in order for them to lock down America, they will bring in foreign troops to do that. Remember,
Facts.
we was thinking like the UN and
Nigga,
shit
we
like
was
that.
saying that. You know how long ago we was saying
We
that?
was saying that shit a long time ago.
We was
And
saying
now
that
look,
during 9/11, bro.
during the 9/11. Now look, fast forward 20 something years later, they're talking about emerging in the U.S. military with Israel's military. That's
Facts.
crazy. So all that conspiracy theory shit, people was like, oh, y'all just conspiracy theories. Nah, this shit is conspiracy facts. Because we
Right.
talking about criminals that's conspired to take over the world dominance. So the fact that they moving forward with artificial intelligence, they basically
And these
showing you
data
what they do.
centers. Yep, these data centers, yep.
Data centers is the new investment for these people now. All their money is being dumped into artificial intelligence. Everything they want to put the whole world on autonomous. They want everything ran or automatically. So that way humans are strictly governed by artificial intelligence. That means they don't have to interact. These suckers to go underground and hide out and run this shit from they underground bunker, they underground centers,
Facts.
and have us, warring against the machines and shit like that at the
Right.
surface.
Right.
At the surface, and that's what it's coming down to. So that's why they use commercials like Terminator and Matrix and shit like that, because that was the
Facts.
plan. Man against the machine was always, you heard about man against the machines going back, years back.
Right.
So now that they rolling out
More
artificial
than a
intelligence,
century.
yeah,
More than a
right,
century
more than a
ago.
century. So now that they rolling out artificial intelligence and putting the world on autonomous and have everything ran by artificial intelligence, our financial, our food, agriculture, our medical, everything ran autonomous by these AI robots. Even the workforce, even like you even see them basically creating like AI nurses, AI nurse aides, AI, autonomous restaurants ran by total AI. They even really remember they even put the Good Burger 2 out, the movie Good Burger. Remember when they did the second one, which was corny as hell? They even showed you in that they was putting restaurants on autonomous and letting the AI
Facts.
run. I mean, that was the whole thing in that corny ass movie. So they basically showing you where they going with this. So them data centers is very crucial to them to get these data. That's what all this burning down the forest and shit is about. Because they need the acres. They need the acres to build these data centers. That's
So
why
they
we get, yeah.
so they can capitalize off the surveillance state. Because you gotta
Right.
think about it, they sold everything out to all different foreign interests already in America. Our politicians, along with the big corporations, already sold most of our infrastructure out to foreign entities. So now, like, all right, we accomplished that. Now, what we gonna do with the people?
Right.
Because we don't want we don't want to let the people know that we sold all their shit to foreign interests, and once they know, there's going to be a riot. So
Yep.
of course they sit at the round table, they bring in Netanyahu, Trump, and all them, and that's when they come up with the plan. Well, let's just merge our militaries, and we already got all
Right.
the surveillance in place. All we need now is the data center to be able to comb through all of the data that deals with all the surveillance, because they got all these cameras. Y'all realize just in the last 10 years, if you look at all the cameras that they got, and then another psyop is the Ring doorbell cameras. So our whole country is under surveillance. There's audio and video everywhere, and
Yep.
all they need to do is integrate that with the artificial intelligence, the quantum computing, and they got us. That's how they're going to run their military operations. Basically, they're going to call it a cleansing the land of these American citizens who don't agree with the New World Order and that don't agree that we basically sold their whole infrastructure out to foreign entities. And that's basically what it does. So this is literally a military campaign against the United States and its citizens. That's what
Exactly.
this is, and that's what we trying to wake y'all up to see. Those of y'all in the United States who are listening to us, the evidence is there. You understand? The evidence is there. All this surveillance state is something they already did the intel, because before they invade, they got to get all the information they can on their targets. And their targets
Right.
is the United States citizens. So they know everybody who have weapons. They know everybody So if they was after you and you a specific target, special interest, there's nowhere you can go because they could track you just by looking at the history of your Facebook. They know everywhere you've been, everywhere you go, everyone you know. There's
Right.
nowhere to hide now. And that's their plan. They already got the surveillance state. They already, and the first step was to basically put us all in a poorhouse, because
Exactly.
it's going to be hard to fight against the government and the foreign corporations when we don't even have access to fuel. Because you got to think about it, they pricing us out of fuel. That's what this whole Iran shit is about. That's one of the big major things behind the Iran, so they can have a reason for us to have trouble getting cheap fuel here in the United States. They're going to run this Iran war down to the ground, this Strait of Hormuz and all that, and keep blaming that for the reason why the United States citizens is being priced out of fuel. Because it's going to be hard for us to fight if we're hungry, don't have access to fuel, and they got us all under a surveillance state. We can't even find clean water because that's being contaminated. So, and people, we got our guns. The guns ain't going to matter.
Right.
The guns ain't going to matter when these data
right.
centers and they sending hundreds of thousands of drones armed drones into your neighborhood, hovering over your neighborhood, armed with machine guns and blasting you to bits. You can't even go nowhere. You can't even get from point A to point B because you ain't going to have access to fuel. And you're going to be hungry as shit because you ain't going to barely have access to food, because most of our soil you can't even use a lot of our soil here to grow anything because they poisoned that.
Shit,
they poisoned that.
Yeah.
Do you understand? This was the whole covert war against us for decades now. And it's only a couple of us waking up to this. It's still not enough. We are current in the United States. We are in danger. Like that. This is what we're trying to get through to y'all. We are in danger. They took over our whole infrastructure, y'all. Our whole, and one of the things we should have been really protecting the farmers. We should have been protecting clean water sources.
Facts. Protecting our natural resources.
Yeah, we should have been, and we're not. We don't. We don't. We're done.
And
they had us focused on sports and
right.
working these bullshit jobs and all that. They had us focused on that and what the celebrities are doing.
So only 32 countries globally host specialized artificial intelligence data centers, right? It says with over 90% operated by the United States and China. American tech giants, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, lead global infrastructures, while European firms own only a fraction. So the countries with AI infrastructures heavily is, of course, America's, dominated by the United States, which leads the globally with over 4,000 facilities overall, and Canada. Europe, anchored by the UK and Germany and France. Asian Pacific is led by China, Japan, India, and Singapore. So the global divide, entire continents like Africa, South America are nearly absent from the AI computing map. So it breaks down what areas, what countries are heavily involved with this shit. And really it's just United States and China at the top with 90%. So what that tell you right there, that China and America, why you think Trump went over there to meet with the president of China? They talking about how to operate these motherfucking data centers, the money that they pouring into these data centers. Yep. So the areas in New York, the areas in New York, the areas in America where the data centers are, being hosted is Virginia, Texas, California, is leading the United States in the total number of operational sites. Well, where the hell is Facebook's? Where's Meta's data center? Is that in Texas or was that in? theirs is in Texas, right? Or Atlanta.
Bro, they got a
Well,
bunch of them. Like they don't just have one data center.
yeah, but the main one that they had, the main one they got that's that's noticeable, that's being talked about as far as with Meta. So it's like, what do you do? So emerging hubs, states like Georgia and Pennsylvania, massive corporate investments like Amazon, multi-billion-dollar commitment, and seeing skyrocketing growth to support the next wave of computing. So Amazon is heavily invested in the data centers.
So it's in Louisiana. Meta's largest
Louisiana.
and most ambitious data center is the Hyperion facility is in Richland Parish, Louisiana, spanning a
Oh,
massive 2,250-acre site with over 4 million square feet of space. This is a $50 billion campus.
wow.
Yeah.
And these things use 30,000 gallons of fucking water daily,
Right.
which means we
Right.
don't have that, which means we're gonna be left without clean water. That's why a lot of these water,
Intentionally.
yeah, that's why a lot of these water giants was talking about water was gonna be the next gold and gold and shit like that. It's gonna be a commodity because now we see why. They was talking about this a long time ago. Now we see why, because water is gonna be crucial. Like, where are we going to get clean water from if they using all of our water systems to power these data centers, to cool these data centers? It's gonna be hard to really, and then they contaminating everything anyway. They spraying everything, like a lot of that shit that we was, like the shit that was just that recently happened with the so-called forest fires from Canada. If you really look at that shit, bro, that you could tell that shit was sprayed in the air. You can tell because smoke doesn't operate like that. It just doesn't stay in. It kind of evaporates, or the wind blows it, and it kind of goes. But it was like it was changing the color of the fucking sky. People was reporting they was seeing particles and shit like that. So they definitely was spraying some shit. They definitely was spraying something. So now it's like they contaminating crops, they be contaminating water. It's like that shit's gonna be very crucial, you know what I mean, in the near future. So if people don't do nothing about it now, it's like shit, niggas gonna be suffering starvation. They already talking about famine and all that shit. They're already trying to promote a famine, a made man famine at that. This shit is doomed. This is doomsday. That's what this is. This is doomsday. For real. Well, we gotta get into the Tom Hanks topic because you know what I'm saying, we gonna get into this shit too. So make sure y'all hit that like button. Let's go ahead and get to this quick commercial. We'll be right back.
If you crave nature but still shop online, Night and Day Herbals is your dream come true. Discover premium herbal soaps, shampoos, and CBD products. All organic, all for you. Shop now at nightandayherbals.com.
Yeah, make sure y'all check out our website where we sell natural herbal products at. We also got a sale going on with the CBD gummies. Buy one, get the second one half off, 50% off by using the promo code Get Gummies 26. Again, don't use it during the checkout. Get Gummies 26. We have all types of CBD products on there, hair care, skincare products, naturally, herb products, no chemicals, chemical free. So make sure y'all check out our website, 9dayherbals.com, if you haven't. For y'all that purchase products, we are, shipping products out. So make sure y'all go over there and check us out. The link is in the description of this video and in the chat. So make sure y'all check us out. All right, 9dayherbals.com. So we gotta
5
switch
stars
gears.
on Google, y'all.
5 stars. Let them know. 5 stars on Google. Yeah. All right. So we gotta go get into this Tom Hanks shit, right? So we came across this interesting video on on Instagram, where these brothers, on the podcast was talking about Tom Hanks being part of a new podcast called Route 66. So if you didn't know, Route 66 is where the actor Isaac Kappy actually unalived himself on a bridge called Route 66. So if y'all don't know who Isaac Kappy is, he's an actor. I forgot what movies he was in. I think he was in I forgot what movies he was in, but he basically, before he so-called unalived himself, he was exposing the industry. He was talking about, Steven Spielberg being a pedo. He was talking about Tom Hanks, Oprah, and Gail, and all these different people within the industry that was part of the whole trafficking ring thing. So before we actually get into this, let's get into this real quick, just to give y'all a reminder of Isaac Kappy. So matter of fact, let me reshare this real quick, because sometimes the sound
He
be
was in
going out.
Thor. He was in Thor and
Yeah,
I think he was in Terminator. I think he
yeah,
was
he
in one of
was
the
in
I
Terminator.
think it was like Terminator Salvation or something like that.
Right,
And he was definitely in Thor.
right. So before we get into that clip, we're gonna get into this real quick, so y'all can get
This is
recap on
Isaac
this.
Kappy. I'm sure most of us know him. Before Isaac Kappy died, he made a series of shocking claims online. Soon after those statements, he was found dead, and that raised serious questions. Let's listen to some of the things he said before he died.
No, I'm not even going to talk about Spielberg, who, by the way, Steven Spielberg is... Yep. See how easy that was, Corey? I didn't need $10 million. I just said it. But what I want to get into is, I want to get into like the bigger picture of how this stuff is all connected. Because when you're talking about like really elite levels, the name of the game is blackmail. So they want something on you that they can hold over your head so they can basically own you and tell you what to do. And they film it. And then they own you.
And then that ties into the Epstein with the blackmail list. I mean, with the blackmail shit. So he basically saying the same thing. He used it to basically blackmail, people on the higher up.
This is one reason why I have so much respect for Isaac Kappy. He was very straightforward. He didn't care even though he knew the danger he was putting himself in. He even challenged Corey Feldman to do the same, but Corey didn't go that far. Maybe he understood what would follow afterwards. Not everyone is ready for that level of exposure.
So that's what runs the whole system, basically. They want compromised people because they're easy to control. And a lot of people, they'll just go along with it and do whatever just for fame or money or accolades or any of that stuff. I don't understand it. Some people are just like really into the evil shit. Yarvo. I'm not going to talk about Tom Hanks either, who is also Hanks, folks, is a pet. I'm sorry if this is the kind of bursting your bubble. All this information is new.
Watching this from a distance, it's easy to say the world is a better place. It's easy to feel comfortable. But listening to someone like Isaac Kappy who have seen it all, it's a different feeling. If I'm honest, it scares me. Because if even part of it is true, then we are looking at something much deeper than we think. Pure evil.
But it's time that this comes out into the open, because we are going to change the way everything works. Because at the top levels of wealth, of power, of the very top levels, these people are just sick and psycho. Look at the Rothschild family. Do some research. You heard it's cannibals. Yeah, there is cannibalism. The higher you go, the more sick it gets.
There you have it. This is a man who was found dead after making statements like this. A number of people concluded that he was taken out because elites didn't want certain things exposed. After the Epstein files became public, many of us started revisiting some of the things Isaac was saying. Some of it now sounds less crazy to certain people. We live in a very dark world where evil is taking place before our eyes, but we fail to see it. Human trafficking is real. That is not a theory. That is documented. And that alone should wake us up. I'm sharing this for awareness. So we think. So we stay alert. So we protect our children and families from these monsters. We
That's Isaac Kappy was basically exposing all that before he so-called unalived himself on Route 66. So let me tap back into this video here. All right, so this is the Maverick Approach podcast. This is the Maverick Approach that basically broke this down. So let's get into it. All right, make sure y'all make sure y'all keep liking this video and share it too.
Hollywood is really crumbling. Did you guys see what Tom Hanks posted? Actually, today's his birthday.
What did he post?
Happy birthday, Tom Hanks.
I don't know about that.
What did he post?
So you know the whole thing with Isaac Kappy.
Yes.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
So pre-Epstein, Isaac Kappy, who was a Hollywood actor, he was in Thor, Terminator, like the later ones, and he started to blow the whistle on Hollywood. This is like 2016, 2017.
In what sense?
Tom Hanks is a PDF file.
Sexy baby.
Sexy baby.
All right, get up.
They're eating babies. Like all the shit that we're saying
Epstein
now,
files, yeah.
he was saying 10 years ago. He was talking about Epstein and Epstein's island and how they all go to his island, right? Then he actually says this on camera, says, if I end up unalived anywhere, it wasn't me. Not too long later, a dash cam, somebody's driving along Route 66, and they see him sitting on top of the overpass. He almost looks dead already. He's just sitting here like this, all white, like rigor mortis already set in, and looks strange. Like, what the fuck is that? Then he falls off, gets hit by a truck, and dies. Tom Hanks.
Just today.
Yeah. He is a part of a radio show that he frequents on there as a guest DJ called Boss Radio 66. And it has the Route 66 logo on it. And he calls in all the time. And it's on there and it says, happy birthday, Tom Hanks from Boss Radio Route 66. And get this, on his Instagram, all his comments have been turned off.
Tom Hanks?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All of them. And he still does that. He has, those little shoes he finds, and he stopped doing that after a while, right? You know those pictures he used to post,
Right.
those weird cryptic ones where it's like a girl's shoe or
The sock or something.
a piece of
right?
article of clothing. Yeah, a sock, a glove. He used to do that. And then he started to do it again not too long ago, but all his comments are turned off now.
So he's still doing that? Like, how is he that tone deaf?
I don't know. But it's weird that he knows to turn off the comments.
Well, yeah, they've been ripping him up in the comments.
Right? It's pretty odd that he's on a show that has Route 66 on it. It's kind of like
It's a shout.
ha.
God.
So you still want to shout out Tom Hanks?
Oh, I said happy birthday. I said happy birthday, Tom Hanks. You made
Very nice of you.
Forrest Gump, you know?
Very nice of you.
I like the terminal too.
I mean, that's the thing. You know, it's really crazy because it's like he has great movies, but you look into the person, it's like, what is this? And the fact that he has dual citizenship in Greece, you know what that means. Greece, they don't PDF files, they don't prosecute.
And there's that.
All right, so that's the Maverick approach. Yeah, that's mighty strange though. Yeah, he definitely turned his comment sections off. Yeah, he don't have none of his comment section on at all. They was loading his comment section with pizza
Yep.
emojis.
And calling them pedo and all that type of shit.
Pizza gate.
They had
Right.
to turn, yeah, Bill Gates had to turn his off.
Exactly. So that's mighty strange that he calls into a podcast frequently they were Route 66. And that's the same it's a town called Route 66 too. So, let me see, here it go right here, the little in California. Yep, he calling himself DJ Tom Hanks. That's what he calling himself now. Boss
Wow.
Radio, Route 66, got the Route 66 logo, California, DJ, matter of fact, let me pull this up real quick.
Certain things you gotta get into in order to remain, at the top, an A-lister.
Facts.
I mean, just think about it. There's not many A-list celebrities that get consistent work.
Right.
So
That's true.
A lot of these A-listed celebrities, the only reason why they getting consistent work is because they doing shit like this.
Right.
And who owns Hollywood? We just in our last segment we was just talking about this. Who owns Hollywood?
Facts.
The Zionists.
Zionists.
The Zionists always own
They
Hollywood.
own the media.
They
Yep.
own they not just Hollywood, all the music industry, everything.
Yep.
They own it. That's what Ye was trying to tell people. Look how they
Yeah,
came after him.
yeah. So this is it right here. There's the Route 66 joint right here. Route 66 logo that he uses. Yeah. Yeah, he got his comments turned. Look, no comments. But he should turn them shits off. But let me get into this real quick. Let me pull this up. Because yeah, it's mighty weird the shit he be doing with taking pictures of missing, children's gloves and sneakers and shoes and it kind of think and it make you it makes you think is that subliminal for trafficking. Like when a kid gets snatched up off the street
The
for
article of
trafficking.
clothing. Yep. When
Yeah,
they
the
get snatched
article of
off the
clothing.
feet. Yep. When they get snatched up off the street, they lose an article of clothing.
Yep,
So it's like Hanks is part of that network.
right. So that
He's
makes you
letting
think.
everybody know. Speaking in code.
Speaking in code, bro. Let me pull this up because he talks about this while he does this on Conan on Conan show. Let me see if I can pull this up real quick. Yeah, here it go. Yeah. All right. All right. So let me know if y'all can hear. Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Nah, you gotta reshare that, John.
Can you hear it? All right. Let me reshare it, y'all. All right. Let me reshare it. All right. Said he has obsession with the lost gloves and shit.
Door somehow.
Yeah. You see what he said? Listen what the Cohen said to him though.
That door, that
Right.
trap
It looks
door,
to me
huh?
like they went down.
Right. Let me bring that back. Yeah, he joking just to throw that off with Conan talking about there's a trap door right there. It looked like somebody lost their glove and got dragged down in there. Under a lot of that underground shit they be trafficking under there. The weird shit with people going into the sewers and shit like that, or going to the underground, like
Facts.
all them tunnels they found under them Jewish synagogues in New York.
It's part of a whole network.
Yeah, it's a network of this shit.
Mm-hmm.
Eyes
And
here right now.
Hanks
And
is
it,
a part
and
of
it
that network.
right. And it's just not like um them. It's like a whole network of just different people, period. That's part of it, not just like the Jewish people or the tunnels. Is other tunnels and other you know um cartel tunnels and all types of shit. You know what I'm saying?
That code
Right.
too.
Right, exactly. Make you think they speaking in code and
They
shit.
speaking in code.
Right. That's crazy.
That
That's
one
that
that one glove with the fleece glove, that's probably one that Hanks did himself. That's why he put his
right.
his shoe in there. He got
Exactly.
his hands dirty. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past these individuals. I really wouldn't.
I mean, Isaac Kappy, blew the lid off this. Is a look, another glove right there. What he say? Oh, not good on a cold December night. Thanks. Well, T Hanks. That's what he is. So yeah, he still do take the pictures of gloves and shit. And that, like I said, it's like symbolism for when they snatch a kid up with some shit. It's like they leave, a glove behind and some shit like that. Like you said, like a symbol of their whole network and shit of trafficking. They gotta leave a piece of item behind and shit. And it's
It's
mighty
crazy.
strange that he goes around and take pictures of just fucking like shit. Like look at this shit. Like children's bibs and like little shit like this. Like you talking about a big loss in Central Park. Nah, that was somebody that got snatched up in motherfucking Central Park. Look, toothbrush, like just
Terrible.
weird shit. Yeah, it's weirdo shit, bro. Someone left it. What do you say? Someone left in a hurry. Yeah, it's just weird. It's weird shit. I don't know what the hell that shit is. What the hell is that? Yeah, Tom Hanks is a weirdo, bro. Yeah, he on some weird shit.
It's
Look,
definitely something up.
yeah, spring is that time of the year. That time of the year for what, man? Must be some very hot coffee. Just weird shit, bro. Just weird nigga, man. Fucking Tom Hanks is weird, and he turned his comments off right after that Isaac Kappy shit. After Isaac Kappy came out and exposed him, that's when he start turning his comments off. I don't know if his wife turned her comments off,
He
but
never turned them back on again.
he
That was
never
years
turned them.
ago.
Yep, he never turned them shits back on. What y'all saying in the chat? Jimmy
They
Jump
were
said
saying people
every
were saying Ellen was attached to that shit too.
yeah. They were saying Ellen. Um, Isaac Kappy was saying Oprah with that with school over there in Africa and stuff like
Right.
that. Yep.
But then they distracted us with Diddy.
Yeah, they distract us with Diddy. Um, right. He said the so-called Canada drifting fire smoke is area blocking out the sun. Yeah, I mean they just spraying shit because they just want to spray the chemicals and shit to have us inhaling that shit. Do something to our respiratory system, basically. You said next to Barstow, California, Route 66. It said poor Woody. Said sound like a machine operating audience laughter. Yeah, I think they incorporate both. Fake audience laugh and you know, real audience laugh. Every full moon, every month, they do these sacrifices every year as you're living you know, the ancient practices. Yeah, yeah, but that's just the shit they into though. They into the pizza gate, all this shit. That's why I put this background on there. Now this Pete guy, this goddamn Palm Beach Pete guy running around doing all this weird ass Epstein symbolism and shit, taking pictures with shit like with this little blue and white thing Epstein had in the background and eating pizza on camera. Like he doing all this weird ass symbolism and shit.
That's
Just
because that is Epstein.
all right,
They just throwing it in our
playing in our
faces.
face.
Yeah, they throwing in our
Yeah,
faces that they able to do whatever they want and get away with it.
all right.
Same thing that Tom Hanks did with this Route 66.
Yep.
Kappy came out. Isaac Kappy came out, said he was a pedophile. Next thing you know, he get thrown over a bridge. Cause let's just be real, that motherfucker ain't do that voluntarily. It
Right.
was first of all, you could tell he was under some type of crazy substances. And
Fact.
they probably was telling him if you don't throw yourself over there, this and that is gonna happen. So obviously he threw himself over there. They made it look like a suicide. Then uh Tom Hanks come out with this on this podcast, Route 66, the same route that Kappy killed himself with. Now let's fast forward to this Epstein guy. He so-called died in prison, hung himself in prison. And then a couple of years later, this Palm Beach Pete character comes out of nowhere, exactly identical to freaking Epstein. When
Right.
people were saying that Epstein didn't kill himself, and some people saying that Epstein snuck out the back of the prison. And now you
Right.
got this Palm Beach Pete guy running around. I'm Palm Beach Pete, and he looked exactly like Epstein. Now he's doing little shit, eating pizza on camera and doing, saying that he lived in the same areas that Epstein lives in, and he flies private and all. This shit is crazy, man.
Right.
That's them basically letting us know that they can do whatever they want and get away with it because the public is dumb as shit and public is cowards and we ain't gonna do nothing about it.
Ain't
We
gonna
just
do
gonna
shit
let them.
about it.
Yep, we just gonna let them keep doing the corruption over and over again and laugh in our faces because that's what they're doing, laughing in our faces. I don't know why Tom Hanks turned his comments off. He could have just left them on.
Right. Yeah,
Why
right.
turn them off?
I turn them off. If you guilty of something, time,
Why turn off your comments?
right? You
For
guilty of
what?
something, time. Yeah, that's why it make no sense of Bill Gates turning his shit off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't make no sense. Like, why y'all turning your comments off? Here we go. I found a video with this Palm Beach Pete motherfucker, man. There you
And
go,
that
right
dude's
here.
clearly Epstein
Look.
or a
So,
relative.
right. So you know everybody doing this stupid ass Netflix challenge where they sitting down acting like they being interviewed by, in the Netflix documentary. I see everybody doing that stupid ass shit. So that's what he does, but he does it with a slice of pizza and just look at this shit.
The gate, huh?
Pizza
Yeah,
gate.
it's not playing. It's not playing on our
Oh, it's
right
not
on.
playing?
Nah.
All right, let me reshare it again. StreamYard, I don't know what they be doing with sound glitch. All right, so let me refresh it. All right, here we go.
Back in the day, we had a lot of fun. These parties were insane. We made a lot of money. All the celebrities were there. Everyone.
What's that picture?
Back in the day, we had a lot of fun.
Yeah, he partied with Epstein and shit. Fuck is that? Bill Gates and fuck is that? So that's
This shit
Palm
is
Beach.
crazy.
That's Palm Beach Epstein back in the day and shit. Is that what
These
Bill
parties
Gates?
were insane.
Bill Gates.
We made a lot of money.
And look, he promoting some stupid ass gaming app where you could just doing clown shit.
All the celebrities were there. Everyone.
Yeah,
The sick world. This is a sick world.
they're playing a joke. Yeah, it's a joke.
These people were kidnapping and torturing and trafficking men, women, and children, and they making a big mockery, a joke out of it.
They're making a joke out of this shit, bro.
And people are like basically egging this guy on. People looking at him like a celebrity, taking pictures with him. They,
Yeah,
they, oh my gosh, it's Palm Beach Pete, all around them, and all, like, yo, this is crazy. And it's almost
right.
when you see that shit, you like, damn, maybe we deserve what's happening to us.
Yeah,
Like it makes you think, like, damn, like we ain't shit in society
right.
to allow this to take place. I mean, and of course, it ain't all of us,
Hell nah.
but it's enough. It's enough to just be like, damn, society ain't shit.
Hell nah. Hell no.
Like we're the worst. Like we
Yeah,
are the worst.
yeah, right. Yeah, I was going to respond. Yeah, he said Kappy didn't off himself. He was dead over the overpass. Yeah, I looked at the video. I seen the video, right?
Yeah, he was
And
already dead and
he
shit,
was
right?
already dead, right? Yeah,
They had poisoned him or something. They did something to him.
yeah, he was
They probably
already dead.
tortured him. They probably
Skin was
tortured him first.
skin was pale in the motherfucker, like he
Right.
seen a ghost.
Yup. Because he looked like something from The Walking Dead and shit.
Yeah, yeah,
Looked like he was already a zombie from The Walking Dead.
yeah. It's crazy.
So where's the camera footage of how he got up there? Where's that camera footage?
Exactly. They just show a
Was he
person
dropped
right.
off there? Like did a
Yeah,
van, one of them black vans, dropped him off there and set him on the edge? Like,
they, all they
where's
show
the
is
rest of
a
the
person.
footage?
All they show is a person riding by, recording it when he was sitting up there. That's it. That's the only footage.
Yeah, where's the rest of the footage,
Like,
man?
yeah. Does anybody else have any footage that was riding by and shit?
Shit, that was probably Tom Hanks with the foot. That was the motherfucker. He probably dropped him off there.
There's time ain't
That was
riding
Tom
by,
Hanks behind the
making
camera.
sure the job was done.
Exactly.
Got it on film to make sure the job was done.
Got it on film. Yep.
You say you think this is a doppelganger? Said take the rap so when Epstein is out on the road, people think it's Palm Beach Pete, if that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we know that's what these people do. They be having
Yeah.
all types of decoys and the body doubles and shit like
But the
that. But
thing is, he stole somebody else's identity because there
yeah,
is a real Palm Beach Pete in Palm
yeah,
Beach, Florida.
yeah,
There's an actual guy who's been known as Palm Beach Pete forever in Palm
yeah.
Beach, Florida. This guy comes out of nowhere calling himself Palm Beach
Palm
Pete,
Beach Pete, right?
but he looks exactly like Epstein.
That's why I think it was set up for him to be riding in that car with the top down,
Hmm.
and a person recording it from the other vehicle. It's all set up and planned for this shit. Now he's some type of celebrity now that people asking him for his autograph and wanting to take pictures with him just because he looked like Epstein. Weird shit. It's like a joke, a mockery. It's a joke. That's why you can't even take people serious. You can't even take the citizens serious because of shit like that.
Right.
It's like that's what they do. They make these mockeries and shit just to desensitize the people, and people just passive about it. They're
Right.
like, wow, why is this Palm Beach Pete guy? The people are like, man, we don't need this shit right now. We don't need this,
Facts.
the spectacle going on right now with the Epstein files and this Palm Beach Pete motherfucker being all over the internet viral and shit.
It's a psyop, bro.
Hey,
It's a psyop to make people light of the Epstein shit.
hey,
They see this is psychological warfare. They want us to make light of the Epstein shit, so they put this circus act Palm Beach Pete together, and it's
yep,
probably really Epstein.
right,
It's just parading around, and making light of the situation, so people will just forget about it or be like, oh, Epstein, that's just something, some entertainment, and that's
exactly,
what they want us to view the Epstein shit as entertainment.
right,
And people got the same mindset when it comes to, people exposing the truth with this whole conspiracy theory movement shit. People want to make it as like it's entertainment. It's like, yo, this ain't entertainment.
damn sure
This
ain't. We
ain't
talking
it
about
ain't
real
entertainment.
victims, right?
Oh, but people take it serious if somebody got caught doing some petty shit, petty shoplifter, or somebody smoking crack or something like that. Petty shit. That's like that. They look at that more of a crime than fucking the Epstein shit.
Yeah, damn,
If your neighbor's doing something, it's a serious crime. But if it's Epstein and stuff, we just make it entertainment, so people would just forget about it and call it entertainment.
right,
It's crazy. The psyop is crazy, and humans fall for this dumb shit all the time. The general public fall for it all the time. Somebody said people are dumb as shit. Yes, people are fucking
yeah,
dumb out here. Yeah, people are.
Goo-
People weak
goofy,
minded. People find
goofy
yeah.
as hell.
People fall for the silliest shit. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I'm looking at this is serious. This guy parading around like
To
talking
be
about Palm
Epstein,
Beach Pete, knowing damn well he's identical to Epstein. And he's
right,
sitting there making fun of the Pizzagate shit. And mind you, the Pizzagate stuff is about them basically abusing children.
right,
And he's making light of it. It's entertainment now. It's entertainment till it happens to your kids.
exactly.
It's crazy, man. This shit is wild out here. Yeah,
Look,
people are dumb as shit, man.
he
The
really
world
ate
is
that.
finished.
He really ate a slice of pizza and like basically just trolling and making a mockery of this shit. Cause he know what the slice of pizza symbolizes. So he deliberately ate that slice of pizza while doing this little skit bit, trolling and shit. Meanwhile, there's real victims out here. Like Palm Beach Pete, you realize there's real victims out here, right? And you parading
It's a mockery.
you riding this Epstein shit out to the fullest. And it's real victims out here. Well, he already said he partied with celebrities and Epstein and them back in the day. So yeah, even if you ain't Epstein, you still partied with the motherfucker. You still was partying with the celebrities, and you was around the shit. You say you was around Epstein.
And what are the odds of him living in the same exact areas where Epstein lived?
I'm thinking that is either Epstein himself or he was a Epstein body double to fill
Right,
in for Epstein when Epstein was away doing other shit.
right.
That's what
Like
I'm
the one to
thinking.
sit in prison, the one to go and sit in prison.
Right.
You remember when Epstein was charged in 2014, he was
Yeah.
able to be outside and only had to go into prison for a couple hours to sleep.
That's it.
That was actually a court order. When he was locked up, he didn't have to stay in prison all day. They let him out on work release every day, not just the
Every day.
weekend. Because some programs, furloughs and all that, they let prisoners go home on the weekend. But every day they allowed him to go, and he only had to come back to the prison to sleep. Yeah, this
That's
Palm
it.
Beach Pete guy could have been the one that he sent back to prison while he still was outside operating.
Facts. Yeah, because he looked just like him.
Right.
He looked exactly like him. Even you see this Pete younger pictures. Looks like Epstein, bro.
So how we know that how we know this ain't Epstein, the guy that supposedly unalives himself in prison, wasn't the
Right.
doppelganger?
Right. The world would never know.
You see how you see the psyop?
Yup.
Do y'all understand how fucking crazy this is, y'all? This is crazy that we allowing this.
And
The
for people to
general
even want to,
public are allowing this.
and the people for one even wanted to take picture with this guy is weird. It's like, yo, like y'all really falling for this shit?
But if you seen your neighbor doing something illegal you don't like, you take that more
Turn it.
serious than somebody like this.
Right.
That's how they want it to be. That's how they want it. They want us to show favoritism like that. That's part of the psychological programming. You'll be quick to bring justice against a neighbor or somebody you know, but somebody like this you appraise as a celebrity.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. It's like, damn, do we as a whole, do we deserve what the fuck what's coming? The fact that we so cowardice and so brainwashed and so programmed to allow it to get this bad. Do we deserve what's coming? Because sometimes you gotta act. It's the same concept when you see somebody in an abusive relationship. They constantly getting their ass beat, but they keep making excuses for the abuser. And then
Right.
after a while, you just like, man, you asking to get your ass whooped by your spouse. You
Fact.
asking to get abused at this point. And you know how
Right.
sometimes the victim like to use that just to get attention too.
Exactly.
Like it's like some type, and it's like, damn, are we the same as the the people that's getting abused, and we just loving our abusers and making excuses for our abusers? Because that's what I see these people as. These governments and these corporations and these motherfuckers like Epstein out here operating and all the corruption that's behind the system. It's like the day-to-day citizen is constantly in an abusive relationship with these people. But we
Yeah.
constantly say we have to vote for them, we have to back them up, we have to make excuses for them. If you don't even have a say so if you don't vote for one of these individuals. And they're like literally abused. They take advantage of us every chance they get.
Right. They definitely financially
Selling us
abusing.
out, selling us out, sending our kids off in the military to be sacrificed for foreign corporations and be sacrificed for people for countries like Israel and for corporations like motherfucking JP Morgan and all. Because you gotta think about it. Who's really behind all these big wars? The same people that's behind the big banks. So when
Yep.
they make money off these wars. They able to loan this money out to governments on interest, so they can have. And once you have a whole government and country in debt to you, sky's the limit. So how do you get a country in debt if you the one lending them fake money out to the country? What's the best way to get a country in debt? War. War is the most expensive business.
Exactly.
Do you know how much? Do you know how much one F-35 fighter jet? How much that costs? How much? Let's look that up. How much one of them? How much is one
Which jet is it?
F-35? How much is one F-35?
F-35 jet.
For one F-35
$82
fighter
million.
jet, 82 million.
Yep.
And those are the
Well,
jets. Those are the jets that we've been giving to Israel.
the short
Those are the
takeoff
jets that we giving to Turkey and Israel. F-35 jets.
the F-35, the F-35B is at $109 million for that jet.
Do you see that? Do you see that?
The F-35C is 102 million. However, the unit per unit cost includes ancillary equipment, can increase the base off the price between 100 million and 130 million.
So
Well,
of course they're gonna keep us in conflict.
we know they're gonna hike up the price because they got to skim off the top. So
of course they're gonna keep us at war. And who suffers in war? The kids being shipped off to war and their parents, their families.
Yep.
And they saying we're doing it, we sending these people to war to protect the country, but how?
They crippling
Like
our economy.
let's take this Iran war for instance. Is anybody in here scared that Iran citizens or Iran military is going to kill you tonight or nuke you? Is anyone in here scared of Iran right now? Do you, as an American citizen, do you feel like Iran is a threat to you to the point where we need to spend damn near $82 million a jet to give to Israel to fight Iran? Are any of y'all scared in here of Iran? Do you feel threatened by Iran? Do you feel like you should send your kids over there to die on Iran soil because they so much of a threat to the United States? Do anyone in here feel that way?
And nobody feel threatened. American citizens don't feel threatened by Iran.
Really?
You don't hear one citizen outcrying about Iran. We hear more outcry about what was being done here in America than you do about anything that has to do with foreign citizens. We have no quarrels with foreign citizens. We have no beef with any foreign citizens. America's citizens pretty much get along with all the other citizens in America. It's our governments that's running these goddamn operations.
So those of y'all who have young adult children in here, do y'all feel like Iran is that much of a threat to us in the United States that you should send your young adult child on Iranian soil to die?
Right.
Do you feel like that's needed right now? Do y'all feel like that's needed for you to send your young adult children to a foreign country to die? For what?
Absolutely.
And for what? And for what? Because when I walk outside my door, I'm not scared that an Iranian is going to come down and shoot me from the tree or from a yeah. So I don't understand when people are so brainwashed about this. Like you so and the thing is, this ain't got nothing to do against veterans and all that, because I mean, you are brave to go out there and fight a war, especially when that fight don't really involve you.
All right.
So this ain't no personal attack against the veterans themselves. This is an attack against the fucking government that's sending y'all out there on a dummy mission to die for a foreign corporation.
Again, say that again.
Foreign interest. Yeah, you're not even dying for Americans. So when Americans say, "Oh, thank you for your service," like you're not even in service to who though? Because the shit that they doing over there in Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, how is that keeping Americans safe? And in fact, they said, well, it's keeping Americans that's over there working, it's keeping them safe over there. Why are we a threat to them over there? This is the question we need to ask. Why do they need to be protected? Why American citizens who work in those countries need to be protected? What are we over there doing that make the people over there feel threatened by their presence? That's the question that needs to be asked, because if you ever met any of these type people like Iranians and all, these people are naturally nice. Like they really have to feel threatened by you to want to come and harm you in any type of way. So what is it that Americans is doing over there that will provoke them to even want to attack us to the point to where we would have to send troops over there? That's what we got to start asking these basic questions, y'all.
Just like we didn't have, like, the Viet Congs didn't do anything to us. Nothing. The Viet Congs didn't do nothing to American citizens. Nothing whatsoever. They was not a threat. The people that went off and fought in the war, in the Vietnam War, especially certain citizens in America, they was more threatened by, within their own circumference rather than, going off to the military, to the war, the Vietnam War. Had to worry more about being, persecuted in America rather than going to the Vietnam War. So the fight was real. You know what I'm saying? That was just like, what was the point to do that?
And the thing is, at that time, was the normal American citizen scared of the Vietnamese?
No.
When you walked out your door in America, were you scared that a Vietnamese would be hiding in a tree ready to shoot you?
Listen, when the American citizens, when American soldiers went over there, they actually got along with the Vietnamese people over there. Like when they was on their off time and all that shit, they actually mingled with the Vietnamese people over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just that propaganda machine working and doing their, doing its best to keep citizens and globally divided. Because when you got a organized crime at the top working, they don't want their citizens to they don't want citizens actually coming together to basically revolt, because they lose power, they lose all their power, and that's what they want. They spend, man, they, you know how much money they spend on propaganda? Trillions of dollars on propaganda. I'm talking about globally. You have people in other countries that they pump propaganda to make them feel a way about America and vice versa. But when they actually visit those countries or actually inter interact with these other people, when they go to these countries, it's totally different. You have people that come over here and like, oh my God, they made America to set out to be monsters. Like y'all hated us over here, and you know what I'm saying? And that don't even be the case. You know what I'm saying? So it's really experience, people own individual experience with people that they interact with. It's not like whole group of people. I mean, going to hate a whole. Well, of course, they use the propaganda to do that. As far as like whole groups of people hating other groups of people, whole other groups of people, until you actually start interacting with certain individuals, and you be like, well, this shit wasn't nothing like they were saying to us. Like you go over to Africa, they make you think, you know, Africa is like the worst place for Black Americans to go and shit, and vice versa. Like, nah, what the hell? So the propaganda is going to do their job to keep people divided, because they last thing they want is people actually coming together.
Well, they
That's
made
the
it
last
look
thing they
like
want.
to us dumbass Americans over here that Africa is poor. It's, and
Right.
they say a
Jungle.
poor and they say a poor country. That's dumb as shit right there, because
It's a
Africa is a
continent.
continent,
Right.
right?
Many
But
countries in it.
the dumb American mind, we see those commercials back in the day, and
Hmm.
in our mind we say, man, Africa is a poor country. That goes to show you how the psychological warfare happens and how it dumbs us down. Because you ask majority of the dumb general public walking around about Africa, they think Africa is a country with just a whole bunch of poor people with skinny starving children with flies flying around them. That's most people concept of Africa
All
in
right.
the United States. Dumb as
Yeah.
fuck, just
And we
walking
grew up
around dumb as fuck.
right, and we grew up with these images and these, that was implanted into our minds to think that. So everything that, and that's just prime example that everything we was programmed with, you got to start deprogramming yourself, because we was lied to. That's one prime example right there. That we grew up to think that the whole Africa was poor. They lived in a jungle, or they lived in these mud huts with flies all over them, and they were starving with big bellies, and they made us think the whole Africa was like that. Y'all remember the commercials with the feed this kid for 2 cents a day, and in the school, the little documentaries they used to play in school to make us think these starving kids over there in Africa, which there were certain villages that was ran, that experiments was ran on by Bill Gates and the Bill Gates Foundation.
And that was the only reason why they were starving, because their own government sold them out and they cut them off
Right.
from the food supply, and they allowed people like Bill Gates and them to come in there and experiment on them. And those children that you were seeing on those commercials were really under had some type of drugs in their system that made them look like that. some
Right.
type of experimental drugs that they were experimenting with them.
Fact.
That's basically what was going on. We was thinking, oh, because they was cut off from what starving individual look like how they looked in those
Right.
videos.
Right. Skinny with big bellies and shit like that. Nah. Starving.
They
You
were
skinny.
experimented
Right.
on.
Facts.
That's why
Experiment.
they look like that.
Facts.
They were experimented on.
How much money you think they collected from all that goddamn? You can feed this
Billions.
starving
Billions.
African kid for 2 cents a day.
Billions. Billions,
Yeah,
bro.
you had kids
Billions.
crying. You had kids crying to their parents like, "Mom, I want to sponsor that. Mom, I want to feed that child." And you had kids crying to their mothers about that shit, and had vulnerable people watching those commercials, and like, you know what I'm saying? They'd show them, little kids with flies all over them with big bellies and eating big ass bowls of rice and some shit like that with rice all over their stomach and arms and shit. Like, yo, who the fuck starves like this? Now to look back, now I look back at that shit like, yo, who the fuck actually starves like this? Because the starving people that really starved, they didn't have no big bellies or nothing. They just looked like they was, you know, s- skin and bones, just all skeleton
Yeah,
damn near.
they look malnourished, like they
Right.
skin. But these people that they were showing us from Africa, they didn't just look malnourished. It looked like
Yeah.
something was altered, like
Something
their
did to
DNA
'em.
was altered. Yeah.
Right. Because a person that suffers from starvation, their skin starts to break down. That
Not
them
saying they
kids,
didn't starve them out too. They
yeah,
probably starved them out too, but they was injecting them with some weird shit over there.
yeah. You said what you say? You said COVID. What the F are you guys smoking? I don't know what you mean by that. You said just talking crap, educate yourself. I mean, we've been educated ourselves on it. We know a lot of this shit that was propaganda and full of shit. So if you want to continue on believing the propaganda machine, that's your choice.
Won't you come up on the stage and educate us?
Yeah,
If
we
you
we
saying
could.
educate yourself, since you got all the
Aqua,
education, that's we truth seekers. So if you got
yeah,
the truth, let us
aquamarine.
know. Let us know the truth. Like educate us,
Yeah,
since you got
aquamarine,
all the answers.
marine selling. We could drop the link for you if you got some education.
Right? We love to hear the
Or
education.
drop. Yeah, I dropped the link.
I would
Yeah,
love to hear the education that they have.
yeah, because I don't even know what he talk. What that person specifically talking about. Educate ourselves on what? Because we. What you
Some
mean
then
on?
he said for COVID, what the F are you guys smoking? What nobody even mentioned nothing about COVID.
Yeah, we damn sure did. Oh, you talking about them running experiments over there for COVID? Oh, you talking about Bill Gates when he was at TED Talk and saying we need to get pretty much all these numbers down to zero, and humans was on there, right? He said, with new vaccines, we could pretty much get these numbers down to zero. You talking about that? That's what you talking about? Are you
Thank
talking about? Are you talking about?
thank you, me 213 6 me. So I'm getting educated from this podcast. Thanks,
I
fellas.
appreciate it. Are you
Definitely
talking
appreciate you.
right? Are you talking about David Rockefeller up there speaking about population control when he did that whole speech at the what was that center he was speaking at? What was that e- that event that they had? David Rockefeller was speaking at, talking about depopulation. What are you talking about?
Hey, if anybody have any opposing opinions, we would love to have you up here to talk about it.
Yeah, we love opposing opinions
Like
because
if
it,
you
we might it might be some things we're not educated in that you could help us out in. So
right, yeah. We don't claim that we know everything. We still learning too, but we see through the bullshit is what we that's our main
right.
that's our main message to everybody. We seeing through the bullshit of the establishment. And we trying to wake other people up to the same conclusions
I
that we
mean,
came to about this establishment and how they've been
right.
operating and under basically psychological warfare.
Do you really think any of these governments have any honor in each citizen, or do you think there's just organized crime as it is? I mean, we're talking about these people peddling in trillions of dollars. Like this. This is organized crime at its finest, and no one goes to jail.
That's the part that gets to me. Because
Nobody goes to jail.
we quick to send our neighbors to jail. See something, say something. We quick to turn in somebody up the street. But these governments, these officials, government officials, and all these people, these so-called authority figures, they could go out there and do mass genocide, and we make excuses for them. Mass genocide, and we make excuses. But let somebody up the street do some petty crime, stealing or something like that, doing some drugs, or let's send them to jail. Yeah, they need to be like, you just see how people are when it comes
Yeah.
to petty
Yeah.
crimes. But when these government officials and these corporations, they out here committing mass genocide right in front of our faces, we still make excuses for them.
I mean, no one should be
Crazy
getting
to
away
me, bro.
with
This shit
crime
is
against.
crazy to me.
Right. And that's not to say that the people that doing crime against other individuals in a neighborhood don't deserve to go to jail, because they
Right.
do.
We're not saying
Right.
that. It's just that people take that more serious than what these crooks in Congress and all them are doing.
Well, people only go after what's close to them. What's in their circumference. That's what people attack the most is, people that's close in vicinity. But trying to go after somebody through the house and through the courts in Washington D.C. to bring crimes against these people for crimes against humanity. It's a process with that. But the people, it would need a conglomerate of people to do that. It would have to be a mass amount of people that be on the same page.
And that should be easy.
Right.
That should be easy since they so aggressive towards their neighbor that's committing petty crimes.
I mean, if you
So
could come
people that's committing crimes against humanity, it should be easier to get hundreds of millions of people to come together.
And it should be, because if you could come together for the New York Knicks winning the championship, then why can't people come against the Epstein people with the Epstein files in that same manner? But it's just like I said,
that's why I'm asking the question: do we deserve what we getting?
Yeah, because that's the propaganda machine doing its work against the people, and the people being passive about what's going on, because millions of people was out there when the New York Knicks won the championship in New York. But when the Epstein files dropped and all these people that was on the Epstein list was walking around, and the people wasn't outraged about the Epstein
It's
files.
called selective outrage. That's part of the programming that the establishment basically place on us, because the media tells you how to think. The media is what gives you your opinions and everything. And if anything goes against that, you're a conspiracy theorist, or you need to go educate yourself. And when they say go educate yourself, they mean keep going and listening to mainstream media and propaganda. That's basically what they mean by educating yourself.
Right.
Not thinking with your own mind, your own critical thinking. So you're only allowed to get outraged about stuff that the media tell you to be outraged about.
Facts.
That's the only thing you're able to be. If you're a Republican, you gotta be only outraged about what your Republican officials tell you to be outraged about. If you're a Democrat, you can only be outraged about what your Democratic, representative tell you to be outraged about.
And the thing is, you can celebrate your favorite team winning. I ain't knocking people for being out there for celebrating the Knicks winning, but there's no balance. It's no balance. It should be like a balance between us celebrating, when a sports team winning, or when some outrageous shit happen like the Epstein files or something catastrophic happens, people actually out there in droves for that without the media telling you to be out there. Because I feel like the George Floyd shit was pushed by the media for people to go out there and protest. That's some shit. Yeah, that wasn't some shit. And then they got the celebrities involved, and the celebrities got paid by Black Lives Matter, and they pushed that shit even further. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that they use certain events to encapsulate the energy of the people when they want to do that. You know what I mean? It's not like a grassroots movement where the people is actually doing it without the media. Like fuck when the media telling you to protest is when people actually going and doing that shit at the grassroots level without the media, without mainstream media telling you to do it. That's a real uprising. That's a real revolution. That's people was revolution against revolutionizing against shit that happened without mainstream media being involved. But when
And they did
mainstream
that
media
right in
get
front
involved,
of our they did
yeah,
that right in front of our faces during
yeah,
COVID because remember they shut everything down, but
right,
they still wanted people to go outside to basically be outraged about the George Floyd shit. Remember that
right.
happened around the same time. You couldn't go eat at your
Same time,
favorite restaurant, but you was encouraged to go outside to protest for George Floyd.
yeah,
So everybody can go and congregate and pass COVID around during the demonstration because the media said it's okay. The
right,
media was showing you that it's okay to go outside. Just put a mask on. It's okay to be shoulder to shoulder, even though we're saying 6 feet apart. It's okay to be shoulder to shoulder with people who's doing a mass demonstration and being outraged about George Floyd's death. But if you want to go and be shoulder to shoulder in your favorite restaurant, oh hell no, you can't do that. You're gonna catch COVID doing that. And
right.
we don't want you. We got to stop the spread. Like that's the type of shit that we like. People ain't got no critical thinking. It's like do only what the media tell us to do. Anything outside of that, that's the devil basically. Same thing like the same psychological profile. I mean, the same psychological warfare they use in these religious institutions. It's all it's the same shit. It's the same shit across the board. It's just that people have to start thinking for themselves. That's
Yeah,
what it is. That's what it boils down to. You got to
critical
start
thinking.
thinking for yourself.
That's the last. Yeah, that's what they don't want. People having actually critical thinking and actually, you know, going against the grain. They want everybody to go along to get along instead of going against the grain. But
And
we
then you'll
know,
realize all the hypocrisy what's inside these major corporations and these governments. Because it's
yeah,
all they built their whole system on hypocrisy because the hypocrisy comes from the psychological warfare. Because it's only like we said, that's the same thing with the selective outrage. It's selective of what you're able to be mad about. But
yeah,
it's complete hypocrisy.
yeah. Jimmy Jump, you said people have to raise their consciousness to see past the lies. Yeah, exactly. That's what it's gonna take. Gotta do the internal work too. But yeah, this
Please
this is
like and
what.
share this video, y'all.
Yeah,
Please
please,
get this
yeah,
information out there. Y'all know we
definitely.
not controlled nobody. We ain't controlled by nobody. So what we say what we say is completely different than anybody who's being controlled by the establishment. Because a lot of people can't come on here and say this type shit that we
Nah,
say.
that's
They be
why. That's
scared to. They
right.
won't.
That's why a lot of celebrities be watching our shit because they know we saying the shit that they can't say.
That
You know what
they
I'm
really
saying?
want to say, but they can't say.
That they can't say. Right.
And that's another illusion right there. The celebrities, they prisoners of their fame.
They prisoners of the of the
They
yeah,
can't
because
they can't
yeah,
never really truly they can never really truly be themselves. And
nope,
they might push it off like, oh, we got these glamorous lifestyles, we got these nice mansion, these nice houses, these nice clothes that you but really they a prisoner to all that shit. Because they have all of that, they really have to watch what they say and do.
right.
Because that stuff, a lot of that stuff is given to them. It's not earned. Not saying they don't work hard, but I'm saying a lot of that shit is given to them. It's not earned. Because you got a lot of people out here working hard as shit, and they not going to never live like how these celebrities are living as far as luxury and all of that. That shit is given to them. It's given to them. And because it's given to them, they basically got to walk on eggshells. So they're prisoners. They can never really truly express themselves. And it's crazy because when celebrities, a lot of this shit is supposed to be about expressing yourself. Like
Yeah.
celebrities all about the arts and all that shit. But most of them are being suppressed. It's all an illusion.
Yeah,
It's all an
design
illusion.
yeah, the Zionists got them pretty tight close to because they the ones that's providing the checks. It's their media.
Right.
So these celebrities have to, work through their media, through their mainstream media. So they're not gonna put nobody on TV
They
that's
not
gonna
happy.
that's going to speak out against this shit. Like we know
They're not
nobody that gets on that mainstream TV can say this shit that we saying right now. They can't. They don't even have, they don't, it's not even in the script for them to do that shit. Like
They're not happy.
they ain't even gonna put certain people on the TV if they not, conducting themselves a certain way.
Facts.
They got that shit tight. They got that shit, everybody in line.
They're
It's a
more
script.
enslaved than the poor, bro.
Yeah, they
Poor people
definitely more
have more
right.
freedom than they have. Poor people are more free. I mean, but it's there's pros and cons to both. I mean,
Yeah.
you poor but you free. But you got material, but you're enslaved. You know what I'm saying? You got materials and you living in luxury, but you got to walk on eggshells. You can't express the true. You can never express the true you with all
I
that
mean,
luxury.
that's why Kanye was trying to, the way you see that's a prime example right there of a person that they were ostracized and cast out of their little circles or whatever when you start speaking out against certain shit. Kanye would be the prime example of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So we know none of them could just click the live stream button and then start speaking out. They had shut the live stream down. Can you imagine if Taylor Swift hit the live stream button and start talking like this? They had shut that live stream down so goddamn fast. And black suits would show up and be locking her ass up and or
They'd
making
be
making
saying
her
that
feel
she
like
went
she,
crazy.
yeah, they'd say she went crazy like Britney Spears or some
Mm-hmm.
shit like that. Right.
Yep. They say that she was taking drugs and she went crazy and she started
Yeah.
talking all this crazy stuff.
Right.
The next thing you know, her career start going down. They keep putting her in different facilities, saying that she's depressed and the same shit that they did to Kanye.
Yeah.
The same shit they did to Kanye, and that's the thing. And I'm like, damn, people don't see this yet. People don't realize that we're all being played. People don't realize we're being played. How can't we see this?
Yeah. Yeah, to see it's a prime example right there. Kanye has mental issues. But what do that got to do with him speaking the truth about the very same people that he was dealing with? He turned around and exposed them. I mean, I think he would know. They allowed him to become a billionaire. So I think Kanye would have more knowledge of the inside shit that happened before we know. And he directly dealt with those people. The very people being called, the Zionist people that be getting called out and shit. Kanye directly dealt with those people. So I think he would have more far knowledge than we have with that because he know inside shit.
You
See,
remember
we
they did
only
the same thing with Dave Chappelle too.
Dave Chappelle made him run to Africa and shit.
Said he was on crack. Said he was a
Yeah,
crack addict.
yeah, lied and said he was on
He
crack.
never smoked crack in his life. And as soon as he started speaking out against certain things that went on in Hollywood, they say that he went crazy, ran to Africa, and he's smoking crack.
Yeah, they are deem. You gotta realize the propaganda machine will deem any person that have influence over millions of people crazy if they start speaking out against them.
Mm-hmm.
Charles Manson is another person that's a prime
Mm-hmm.
example of that.
Facts.
Tattooed the swastika on his head, said I'm property of the Zionists. And
Mm-hmm.
start speaking out again. And what they do to him in prison, they told him, you have to go out there in front of the media. You ain't allowed to shave, shower, and none of that. You gotta go out there and look like a crazed maniac. And you
Facts.
watch his interviews and you see the shit that he's saying. It actually matches up with the crimes that they're committing. So yeah, they're gonna deem you crazy if you have a influence over millions of people and you speaking out against them. They gonna call you crazy. They're gonna want to heavy medicate you. Yes, that's what they do.
That's wild, bro.
They ain't gonna have one of their own out there on the limb and speaking out against them. That shit ain't gonna happen. Why you think JFK ended up dead? He was going against the grain. Him and his brother Bobby was going against the grain.
Yep. Specifically, they was going against the CIA.
Yes, the CIA speaking out against secret societies.
Mm-hmm.
He said we oppose the secret societies. So that tell you right there what happened if you start going against the very same people that put you in position. I mean, that's just prime example. I mean, I don't even think we even need to go any further. We see it happen all the time throughout history.
Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, Charlie Kirk flipped on them and stopped going, going to and flipped his script on as far as the things that he was being controlled and put out there to say. He started flipping on them and saying Israel is this Gaza shit and this Epstein shit. He started
Right.
speaking out against the very same people that put him in position, and look what happened to him. Simple and plain. I mean, y'all know I'm pretty sure y'all ain't that naive.
Well, not our audience.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying in general.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that the general public is that naive. Even though a lot more people are waking up to the BS, it's still not enough.
Yeah, it's not enough.
Still not enough.
I think we're gonna have to suffer through some, some really, the worst birth pains you can ever go through.
And that's happening. We on our way there, buddy.
Yeah.
We on our way there. We definitely on our way. I mean, but you can tell more people waking up just by the fact that Tom Hanks had to turn off his comments.
Right.
Because and the thing is, I seen that when he had this was actually during COVID time when they claimed that all of them was getting arrested. That Q shit when they was claiming that the celebrities were getting arrested by some secret military tribune and all this type of shit.
Right.
And all this stuff came out about Ellen DeGeneres and came out about Tom Hanks and Barack Obama and all saying that they were all pedophile rings, and then shit up with Clinton and Podesta Pizza and all that Pizzagate. All that shit was coming out around the same time. They saying Tom Hanks was behind Pizzagate also. And all that shit was coming out. And this is during the time when Epstein first got arrested.
Yeah, it was.
And it's like they was sort of covering the Epstein shit up with other stuff, with the COVID stuff. Cause like Epstein gets arrested, then COVID outbreak happens.
Right.
Y'all see how that shit's suspect. And then all that stuff started coming out. And then that's when you seeing them comments under Tom Hanks. Oh my gosh. All them pizza emojis, all that pedophile and all that type of shit. Hundreds of thousands of comments under his joint. I'm like, damn, people are waking up.
They wouldn't be able
but
to.
It's starting to become entertainment now.
Yeah, it's entertainment. Yeah,
it's entertainment now. It's like, what happened to people actually wanting justice? Why is it starting to look like entertainment now?
Because
people are just entertained by it and there's nothing happening.
Right. Oh, they did a good job by doing that.
They did a good job, yeah.
They did a number on society. Yeah.
And that's the psychological warfare we're trying to wake people up to.
Said they scared of losing control, especially the whole humanity counter, their plans. Yeah, I agree. Control is they definitely got to make sure they keep things in control.
Right.
He said Tom Hanks had nothing to do with Pizzagate directly. I mean, well, he's in the industry that deals with that type of criminal activity. So yeah,
Man, like and share this video, y'all. Please get this out there.
Appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure y'all hit up our website, 90dayherbals.com too. Shop with us over there. Get y'all natural herbal products over there at 90dayherbals.com. Hit up the website, man. Make sure y'all like this video and follow us on all the other platforms. We 90 Day Network on all the other platforms as well. Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, X.com, Rumble. Make sure y'all subscribe to our Rumble too. We on rumble.com, 90 Day Network. Yeah, so
search us in all your search bars.
Search bars.
90 Day Network.
All right. So we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. And we'll catch y'all on the next. Shout out to y'all on the replay. Make sure y'all like this video. And drop in the comment section your thoughts on this you said on Kick. You mean KICK Kick? Or is another app called KIK?
There is another app called KIK, but it's not a streaming app.
Okay.
That's like a messaging app. And then you got Kick, the streaming app. Was that KICK, right?
Yeah, that's KICK.
Yeah.
Now we ain't on KIK. We do got a profile on KICK because I don't want nobody stealing our name on Kick. So I did
Right.
create us a channel over there.
Yeah, I know people will steal your shit real
They
quick,
steal
try
your
to take
shit.
your identity for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's why I started as a
Yeah, they be
channel over
doing
there.
that shit. They be doing that shit on the internet real fast.
Facts. Yeah, so we
That's
on
why you got verified. That's why a lot of joints you got to verify yourself.
verify, yeah. Yeah, so we on KICK too, Night Day Network. If y'all want to go over there and just follow us on there. I don't know if we ever go live over there, but yeah, we might. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, right.
They paying good over there. We might might go over there and bring a different dynamics over there. It's a motherfucking Kick.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, make
We
sure y'all
had
hit
to see.
right. Make sure y'all hit those links, man. We got the pink CD paint, the CBD
CBD.
paint, the CBD pain relief balm on there. Yeah, check out the
That's a
other products
miracle.
too.
That's a miracle. The CBD pain relief balm. Y'all can go
Yeah,
read the reviews.
right,
It works instantly. Like you got
right.
muscle pains and all that type of shit, joint pains, any type of pains like that, it works instantly.
Facts. We ain't talking about Bing, what's that shit called? Bengay, Icy Hot, and all
Benghays
that
and
shit. That shit ain't got nothing on this.
that's true.
Nothing.
People swear by it. You know, people need it. People come
Every
to us.
month.
Yep, every month they getting it. Yep.
Yeah, they subscribe to it every month. Yeah. Some of our customers,
That we've had for
got a subscription.
years.
Yeah, they got a subscription to it, so they get it every month. Automatically order it every month, shit like that. So
Might as well call it a prescription.
right, facts. Yeah, we make sure y'all check out the uploads on the channel too. Bro did a video recently. Matter of fact, let me drop the link to that shit. Bro did something on the wildfires and basically breaking down all that shit on the wildfires. So this bro sitting in his car doing this joint.
Let's just be real. Let's
All
just
right.
be real, Rant.
Yeah, let's just be real, man. He did a sitting in the car blog joint, rant joint. So make sure y'all check that out. About to drop the link to that. It's on the channel. It's on this channel. So I mean, on the video tab. So check that out. Yes, indeed. All right, damn, I can't even get back to the chat. Damn, what the hell?
YouTube changing shit up on here.
Yeah, I can't even get back to the
Y'all
chat.
suck.
What
Y'all
the hell is
suck,
going on?
YouTube. If it ain't fixed, don't broke. Don't if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like y'all
Right.
be changing shit up too much.
Yeah. Like they didn't change up the whole monetization thing. You don't even know if your fucking video monetized or not until you press the video and the ads come on.
Yeah, I don't know
I don't know what
YouTube
the hell
doing,
they
bro.
doing, bro. They doing some most underhanded shit to this
They are
content.
doing some underhanded shit.
All right, they
But
doing
you
some
know
underhanded shit.
they've been doing some underhanded shit. That's
Man,
another whole live stream right there.
right. Make
That's
sure y'all hit
another
that
whole
link.
video.
Check out bro rant in the car rant right there on the in the link and shit. You plan on doing more of them joints from the car? More car rants?
We
I
see.
think so. Yeah, see where it
We see.
goes. Yeah, but we appreciate y'all tuning in, man. Make sure y'all stay locked in. Make sure y'all hit the notification bell for when we go live, and stay locked in, man, because we gonna keep bringing this heat. Yes, indeed. Anything else, bro?
Nope. Nightandayherbals.com, y'all. Check us out.
Yeah, 5 stars on Google, so you
5
can go
stars on
actually
Google.
Google 90 Day Network LLC on Google, and
7 years.
everything pop up.
7 years in this game.
Facts.
People
Yes,
swear
indeed.
by our product. People been swearing by our products.
and the content.
Right.
Facts. Yeah, I appreciate y'all, man. And on that note, man, shout out to y'all that tuned in, man. All y'all that tuned in, and we'll catch y'all on the next stream.
I'm not even gonna lie. The joint pain I deal with every day will slow me all the way down. But ever since I started using this right here, Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, everything changed. And within minutes, I feel the difference. Like real relief. Now I can clean my whole house without even thinking about the pain. As a nurse, I'm on my feet all day. And this right here helps me get through my entire shift. I can actually enjoy time with my kids now. Go outside, be active, without hurting the whole time. It feels good to just live again. Honestly, if it wasn't for Night and Day Pain Relief Balm, I don't think I'd have the quality of life I have right now.
Comfort slows you down. Reach for natural relief. Night and Day Hemp's extra strength CBD pain relief balm melts into aching muscles, delivering warmth you can feel. Soothe your body naturally. Feel free to move again. Night and Day Hemp Balm melts away tension so you can enjoy every moment. Feel the difference fast. Real relief, real results. Order now at nightandayherbals.com.